Hi there and welcome to my Lessons Learned video series. In this series I'm going to retrospect the videos that I did and critique them from the perspective of did I improve something, did I learn something, and what can you take away for your YouTube journey. Now, I'm actually not a qualified person when it comes to YouTube because I'm obviously a very small creator and I just don't have the experience. But in my professional life, I'm actually a business analyst focusing on process design and process improvement. Now, I can actually transfer this knowledge that I gained over the years into my YouTube approach or adventure, if you will, and see how can I actually improve or maybe streamline my workflow for YouTube just to be more successful. But before we actually start with the lessons learned from the last videos, one thing that I want to make clear. If you start your YouTube channel and you want to be successful, you're going to research a whole ton. And you will find YouTube videos like, do these 5 things and you'll be successful. And don't do these 3 things, whatever. You get the concept. If you're watching enough of these videos, first, there is a whole ton of repetition in there. And the next thing is that if you write all them down, you will have a list of 100 points and things like that that just do not work. Neither from your budget perspective, nor from a skill perspective, nor the experience that you actually have. Now, one thing that I want to give you on your journey is focus on one thing per video. Say you were creating a whole bunch of videos and you were just pulling out your camera and start filming. You might want to consider to actually script your videos to maybe script out the point or make the point clear that you want to communicate in your videos. Maybe you did not color grade or you did not work on your sound, anything like that. Just focus on one thing per video. Now that is something that I didn't do up until recently, where I started actually scripting, and I think that leveled up my video skills by a whole lot because it makes the editing process way faster. It transfers the point that I want to give in the video to the viewer way better, and it helps me to keep the video short and tight, basically. So looking back to the first videos that I made, they were done in autumn and early winter of last year, so they do not necessarily count. The first videos that I made this year, the first was a retrospective of the last year. So what I did there is I did my first scripting approach. So I wrote down an entire script of what I want to tell in the video. And then I went ahead, recorded the audio for the video, and then went online to gather some B-roll resources. Actually, none of them I paid for, so they all were free, and just stitched together the video. Now, since there was actually a personal review of 2020, no one really can relate to the actual video, but from production perspective, there were a whole bunch of things that didn't work. So the audio was kind of since I have in my flat pretty echoey rooms, so I did not work on the audio there, but that is definitely on my list for the future videos. But the B-roll that I chose, I did not color grade any of these videos. I just stitched them together as they fit the said word, basically. And there was one huge mistake. If you want to use B-roll in your video, try to match the mood. Now, color actually communicates mood, and you want your clips to have more or less the same color grade as your B-roll. And I did not do that. I just took a whole bunch of B-roll clips. Now they had different tones, different temperatures and things like that. And through that, the whole video felt pretty amateur-like, I guess. But this is definitely something that I will keep in mind for future. Moving on to the second video, this one was where I did some focus stacking, and the pictures actually turned out really great. Now the video still, or this video actually wasn't really planned. There was like, yeah, I know I want to do some focus stacking, take some pictures, go to the shopping mall, get the spices for that, and just start shooting things like that. So I did not plan out anything. I just woke up that day, started shooting, ended during lunchtime, I think. So it was quite fast. But in hindsight, I did a whole bunch of things wrong. First, framing of my videos was kind of off because I was filming through the window with like the camera facing the window with me in between. Given that the highlights were blown out, the shadows were too dark, and my face was not really visible. The audio was totally off because it was way too echoey. The B-roll wasn't quite there yet, and the video actually did not tell any story, so that was kind of pointless. Okay, going back to last week's video, that video was entirely scripted. Now it was scripted with what I'm going to say. It was scripted in regards to framing, it was scripted in regards to the B-roll, and all these things made first taking or recording the actual video way easier, and second, it made the editing process way easier because I knew, okay, I want to have this picture, this scene, this frame in this order. And doing that in beforehand enabled me just to envision what the final product will look like and helped me tweaking it to where I'm actually confident that the video is good or that I improved something in my video making skills. And I think I accomplished that. Now during editing I realized there were some sound issues and there wasn't nice, but I fixed that at least to a degree in post, which I'm also proud of because that was not in the scope for learning in this video, yet I still did that. Okay, so one thing that I did not do in this video was color grading. Now color grading pictures is for me okay-ish, so I can do that. If I have a vision in my head, I can achieve that. For video, that's an entirely different story. It feels like to me the controls are kind of different, so they produce different results than what I want. So I'm going to learn that for the future videos. Okay, so the major lessons learned from the last videos till now are script your videos, because that actually makes sense. Plan out your shots, check the sound, and think about a message that you want to communicate in the video. So that's it for this week, at least for my vloggy kind of thing there. If you like that, please leave me a like. Otherwise, see you in the next video.